What a weekend and what a turn in the markets. Bitcoin has gone from being beat over the head in the comment sections saying that, we were buying altcoins way too early and we were going much lower. And now we're up 12.9% over the 7-day time period. A lot has happened over this last weekend. We're going to get you caught up on all the news. We're going to get you caught up in the crypto gaming space and which altcoins are taking the best pump from these narratives and from the news that's come out this weekend and the overall market pump. But on top of that, some altcoins that might have some opportunities that have not run quite yet. So we have a lot to cover and we don't have a lot of time. So strap in, let's get ready to go. Without further ado, in the game. Order of business per usual, drop and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more every single week here on In the Game and on Crypto Answer. And a quick shout out to all of our sponsors: Vulcan, 𝗤𝗟𝗡, Dreams Quest. We have NordVPN, Moon Tropica, Real Fever, and all of our exchange sponsors down below in the description. You check those out in the list down below. And like I said, I mean, this market this week has been quite surprising, right? And I felt like July would end up being a pretty positive month for us here. As the summer starts to get to the back end of the summer, some things start to happen politically. It just felt like we were hitting a little bit of a sentimental bottom as well. If we go look at the monthly time period, like when we were down here, the stuff I was seeing on the timeline, just to me, it was screaming that the sentiment was way too bearish. I mean, we were at 54K on July 4th. Now we're sitting at about 635, up about 13% during the time period. And okay, what happened this weekend to cause these types of moves in the market? Well, number one, obviously the Trump ordeal. I don't even have to tell you, I am not a news account. We are not the macro analysis channel here on In the Game, but it is interesting to see, the stuff going on. And if Trump does get elected, I feel like it's just going to be so good for the crypto markets. Trump is speaking at Bitcoin Nashville here in just a week or so. So it's going to be interesting to see his sentiment here on Bitcoin. Number two, Germany sold their bags, 54,000. And as Becker says, the multi-decade nation state lettuce hand humiliation tour starts right now. And I said this on the too this weekend, even before the pump started. Like, that's going to be a generational fumble, as we literally have like Larry Fink boasting still that Bitcoin is the asset to stack and could be literally a reserve currency. And people are still bearish. I just don't understand it. And as Elio states, after if the Fed waits for inflation to get to 2% to cut, it has waited too long. Elio says we are living the most insane financial cycle, literally bid and walk away. And guys, this is what I have been saying for so long. People try to be so active in the markets and trade and short long and try to time the market. And I said it 50 times on the last video. Time in the market is better than timing the market. And if you bidded altcoins this last weekend or even over the past couple of weeks, as sentiment has been absolutely terrible, MOG, we've been buying MOG here, 65%. We have Mavia back over $2, 43% on the week. We have Mantra, our number one RWA play, up 4%. We mentioned how GPU and other AI buys after the OPSEC ordeal were great positions, up 36% over the week. We have Ronin pumping, up 30% on the week. We have TAP, which was in our 12-coin portfolio last week, up 28%. We have Echelon Prime back over $9. So we're looking across the board here. Altcoins are legitimately catching a bid at these levels. And it just goes to show you have to have conviction. And whatever happens tomorrow or whatever happens next week in the market, that's not what we're here for. We're here for the big picture, right? Would you rather have a small piece of the pie, but it's a huge pie? It's that analogy of, would you rather have a big piece of a small pie or a small piece of a big pie? I want the big pie, right? And that's what we're playing for. We're playing for this entire bull cycle. And with inflation, with the political narratives going on, if Trump gets in the market, if the ETH ETF is approved, here's kind of a summary of what's going on. We have Larry Fink sucking at Bitcoin on live TV. We have Long Schlong dodging bullets and speaking at the Bitcoin conference. We have rate cuts, ETFs, and you're still bearish. So like overall, this just goes into the sentiment for me. I'm in this for the long haul. Whatever happened last week, 2 weeks ago, and whatever happens a week or two from now doesn't really matter to me. I'm playing for the market cycle here. And that's why we accumulate during bearish time periods. And people are always like, well, we're going lower. We're going lower. You can never predict that. I can never predict that. But I can sure as heck look across my Twitter timeline and see when people are way too bearish. And that was the sentiment that we had before this last weekend. So shout out to anyone who had conviction the market at this time period. And I think we have a bullish timeline here for crypto gaming coming up legitimately. Despite my bias, despite my bag bias, I genuinely think that gaming is going to catch a bid here at the end of the summer. As I tweeted, gaming is loading up for a major move in the coming months. I can literally feel it in my bones. We have off the grid potential mainnet and token launch. The best game that we've ever seen in crypto could be going live here imminently. We have Mavia with new Ruby battles. Like it's a fresh take to the play to earn narrative. I do feel like the ROI play to earn degeneracy side of this industry has basically vanished because teams are literally scared because they think they'll scare off their investors or their users if the economy was to collapse. The marketplace going live could kick a wave for Mavia and other play-to-earn ecosystems. We have Con and Notcoin for the gaming sector, just absolutely crushing it. We have big studios, Infinigod, Super Champs, Goat Gaming, and more coming through the door and absolutely crushing it during these time periods. You know, games like Pirate Nation, games like Fableborn, they're catching such momentum because they're fun experiences. They're easy to dive into. And something like Pirate Nation, it does have speculation. People farming with the hopes of hopefully getting the overall ecosystem token eventually, which is proof of play, as I'm showing here on the screen. We have Heroes of Mavia, their upcoming milestone with the Mavia web marketplace with the Mavia and Ruby exchange is on the way. Earning real money is coming soon to Heroes of Mavia. Sustainable, fair, and fun. And then they also posted today that the Ruby scan is now live. So go check out the amount of Ruby minted, the Ruby supply, the transactions, amount of holders, all live here based on your web wallet, your in-game wallets. It now feels and acts like its own blockchain. So there's so many bullish things going on in the crypto gaming sector that just can't be ignored. Mavia going play earn could actually, to be honest, like there hasn't been a play to earn hit since 𝗥𝗓. Like, yes, there were 𝗥𝗡𝗓 and 𝗓𝗢 and DeFi Kingdoms, but all of those kind of faltered and eventually lost their users. Whereas Heroes of Mavia and something like 𝗥𝗓, they still have users. Mavia still has users. Like I'm in touch with the team over at Mavia. I actually still play the game. Like it's one of the best mobile games in crypto at this point in time. If this goes play to earn and it captures that sentiment, I think the Mavia token and overall the gaming space could be in for a nice little run. And then it can't be ignored what Ton's doing right now. We have, you know, Citus, which has leaned into the Ton narrative, very bullish on teams that are embracing Ton. You know, it's one thing to come in and say, oh, that's the easy way out. You can get users on Telegram, whatever, but the games are terrible. But you can onboard people into your broader ecosystem by doing this. And they launch with Ton Station. I know that they're bringing Citus gaming experiences to this year very soon. And within a month, they have 4.1 total users and 700,000 daily actives. And it's a full-fledged ecosystem of Telegram experiences, and they're adding their own games into it. So for me, this is more bullish than ever. And we even have Notcoin. After a ton to 100 is not a joke, and I agree with that. I think a 5x from here or a 10x from here is actually not unachievable for Ton. High market cap. But if Solana hits a few hundred, which it can, 3x from here puts it at about, let's go look at the market caps. A 3x from here for Solana puts it at 210 billion. Why can't Ton hit $100 billion market cap, for example? And I think that would put something like a Notcoin, which is currently 1.6 billion, above a $10 billion market cap. I think this is very, very achievable. Now, I think 𝗏𝗏𝗡's tweet here of $1 is a little bullish. All right. That's about a 60x from here. I don't think that that's happening, but nonetheless, I think that 𝗏𝗏𝗡 is one of the best positions you can take across Telegram ecosystem right now. And the way I would start to filter this, guys, when the market's running like this, I'd go on the weekly and I'd start looking at the things that aren't moving as fast and try to catch those as the narrative picks up. Stuff like Super and Beam, 17 and 18%. It's a good gain over the week, but I think a lot more momentum to come from both of these ecosystems. We have Super, with all the games in their ecosystem, Guild of Guardians, 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏, Wilder World, Block Lords, etc. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. Something like Beam, Illuvium is probably going to catch a bid leading into the next 2 weeks when their literal public launch goes live. I think you have a great opportunity to trade ILV leading into that narrative. Stuff like Zentry, which is up 14%, I'd be looking at that. Some of these AI things like Balance AI, I'm still very bullish on. Wilder World only up 11% this week. Definitely one I would be leaning into. In the meme coin narrative, something like Foxy or 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗧. Yeah, funny enough, that is the coin's name. But I would definitely be looking at those, probably catch up to the market at this point in time. And then Moon Tropica. So it's up 35% today, but only up 7% on the week. That's something I would also be getting in on. I think Moon Tropica, when they come out with their full game launch, could really have a run up. So those are some of the tokens. And my strategy, guys, like, this is not a token list video. I'm not here to give you 50 tokens to go invest into, because we've been doing that over this time period. And a lot of our favorites are the ones catching great momentum right now between Mavia, GPU, Tau, Roan, Prime, Brett, Crown up 23%. We have Honeyland up 23%. A lot of projects that we really like here on In the Game are currently moving pretty quickly. But this just shows that conviction pays when other people are running away from the market. You should probably be diving headfirst into the market, because whenever the sentiment gets as bearish as it just was, and we know the bull cycle is not over, like we see the forecast coming in over the next year with a very bullish time period. I just think that right now is still a good time to start accumulating, but I would look between those tokens that are maybe only up 20% on the week and not the stuff that's, 60, 80% on the week. That's where I would not focus my attention as of today. But like I said, shout out to anyone who was accumulating at these bottoms, and especially stuff like MOG. So much has happened since this tweet. MOG the timeline, MOG the charts. So, MOG has been one of the best performers as far as meme coins. We have Billy almost at $200 million market cap. Thread guy said it's got to be one of the prettiest charts in crypto right now. Just a lot of bull stuff going on in the market. And I'll just say it again. I'm so excited for the next 6, 12, up to 16 months at this point in time. If the 4-year cycle plays out into next fall, the next 12 to 16 months should be pretty fun if you're an incumbent into this market, with people like Larry Fink pushing it in your face, with the ETH ETFs, with everything going on. I mean, now is the time to be doubling up conviction and making sure that you have that exposure. And I'll just say it again, time in the market beats timing the market. Everyone was thinking 48K. I saw that all over the place, that you're accumulating too early. Well, that's what you have to do. You have to have conviction, and that long-term play will be much bigger than the short-term. Oh, did I miss the bottom if I was investing in altcoins at 58? Sure, whatever. But now we're at 64,000. Altcoins are starting to actually trend back upwards. I'm completely okay not calling the exact top or the exact bottom, because that's not what you're here for. You're for gains. And the best time to get the gains is when the market was looking like it did this last week, when everyone was scared, calling you stupid for putting more money in, whatever the case is. So bullish on the gaming space, bullish on the market right now. And then a quick shout out to our sponsors here in the game. We have Rebel Cars, which just launched their token today. It is now live and trading on Mexi. And I have to say, from all the Vulcan Forge ecosystem projects, this looks like one of the absolute top of the line games that they have brought to the table. It's CGI level graphics, all the different models of cars from Ford Mustangs, Toyotas, Aston Martins, Lambos, Alfa Romeos, Bugattis, Porsche 911s. They have everything in this ecosystem. We even have custom crypto banter cars. We're doing an $1,000 giveaway right now. This ends tomorrow. So you want to jump into this. You can celebrate their NFT marketplace launch on July 15th with a fun and rewarding competition. Go to 𝗬𝗟𝗏𝗏 Game, and 5 lucky winners will get $150 worth of Tier 5 𝗬𝗟𝗏 NFTs and also $50 USDT. So shout out to Vulcan and shout out to 𝗬𝗟𝗏𝗏 for the successful launch. And I'm genuinely excited to jump into this experience. And then we have Moon Tropica also doing a little bit of a giveaway here. If you are passionate about Moon Tropica, which you should be, this game is one of the best in crypto gaming. I'm not even kidding. Like, one of the most fun that I have ever played. I can't wait to get an influencer game going, and we can show you the content that can be created in this game. If you are bullish on 𝗂, create a thread. Tell us why. Make sure you include 𝗂, Moon Tropica, Lord Winnie G, and Las Venus 88. The winner will get 50 Moon Tropica tokens and advanced access to the beta. This is on until the 21st. And last but not least, NordVPN. Navigate securely. I cannot express enough how important it is. Keep your data private, stay anonymous, disclose your location, don't disclose your IP address, all that good. Use the #1 VPN in the world down below with NordVPN. There's a little 30-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, they will give you your money back. So shout out to NordVPN and all of our sponsors here on In the Game. As always, guys, that's the current market wrap up and things that I'm looking at in the market, the way I would play it, the ranges I would be looking right now. If I'm still accumulating, I wouldn't be taking the stuff that's 50% on the week. I'd be looking a little lower than that. But more importantly, shout out to everyone with conviction in these markets that's spending time in the market, because I can tell you a lot of bears were calling for lower, and here we are at 64K today. You know, it never works how you would ideally like it to. So if you have conviction, play the game. If you play the game, I can promise you, you have a much better chance of coming out on top than those who are just sitting on the sidelines waiting for that perfect opportunity as if they have a crystal ball. I can promise you, anyone who says they have a crystal ball, they don't. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. All these bullish catalysts coming through the door. I mean, it's an exciting time to be in crypto, and I'm just stoked for the next year and a half worth of market activity. So like the video, subscribe, and I'll be back later this week with more videos. Always play well, my friends.